Good morning or good afternoon, depending on where you are viewing from in the world. Welcome to The Silent Forgotten. I'm your host Chris, and today I will be sharing with you the life story of and visiting the final resting place of the Canadian country folk artist musician Colleen Peterson, November 14th, 1950 to October 9th, 1996. Colleen Peterson was a Canadian country musician and folk singer who performed both as a solo artist and as a member of the all-girl band Quartette with Sylvia Tyson, Caitlin Hanford, and Cindy Church. She was born as Colleen Susan Peterson to Lyle Melvin Peterson, 1922 to 1980, and his wife Kathleen May Thomson Kaye Peterson in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, on November 14, 1950. She became interested in music at a young age and attended the Ridgemont High School in Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. She bought her first guitar in 1963 and then began playing in coffee houses in and around the Ottawa, Ontario, Canada area in 1966. She won an RPM Gold Leaf Award for Most Promising Female Vocalist in 1967, and in 1968 she joined the musical talents of artists such as Bruce Cockburn, David Whiffen, Richard Patterson, and Dennis Pendrith in a later version of the folk band Three's a Crowd. She then joined the band TCB, which recorded an album on the Traffic label. In 1970, she was cast in the Canadian production of Hair. In 1970, she also became the vocalist with Mark Spriggs and formed Spriggs And Bringle after moving to Kingston, Ontario, Canada. She then relocated to Nashville, Tennessee in 1974 and signed with Capitol Records, releasing her first solo album, Beginning to Feel Like Home, in 1976. She had a hit single on the Billboard country charts with Souvenirs and won a Juno Award for Most Promising Female Vocalist in 1977. Following her 1978 album, Taking My Boots Off, she did not record new material for several years, although she appeared on 2 albums by the Charlie Daniels Band in 1980 and again in 1981. She continued to perform, however, touring with the likes of Gordon Lightfoot, Tom Waits and Ry Cooder, hosting television specials and appearing on Spirit of the Country and The Tommy Hunter Show, and working as a backing vocalist for Waylon Jennings, Roger Miller, Janie Frick, and Marty Stewart. Other musical artists such as Anne Murray, Ronnie Prophet, and her future Quartette bandmate Sylvia Tyson also recorded her songs. In 1986, she released the single I Had It All, which was a hit on the Canadian country charts and launched the most successful phase of her career. She released the album Basic Facts, her first in 10 years, in 1988, and had a string of 10 hits, including No Pain, No Gain, which hit number 1 on the Canadian country charts in 1991. In 1993, she joined Sylvia Tyson, Caitlin Hanford, and Cindy Church for a one-off concert at Toronto's Harbourfront in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, and the 4 later also appeared together on CBC Radio's Morningside and on a Prairie Home Companion in the United States. In response to the favorable audience reaction to the collaboration, they continued to work together, adopting the name Quartette and releasing their first self-titled album in 1994. They won a CCMA, or Canadian Country Music Association Award, for Best Vocal Collaboration also in 1994. They were also nominated for 1 to 2 Juno Awards in the category of Best Country Group in 1995 and again in 1996. Her last album was released on August 20th, 1996. Her many other recordings include Dynamite Rock Roll, Go Thru The Motions, Delaney, Stealing Away, Bucket to the South, You Make It Look So Easy, Startin Out Clean, The Closest Thing to You, Dim Lights, Thick Smoke and Loud Music, I Go to Pieces, Angelina, Last I Saw You, Need Your Lovin', Going, Gone, Run to Her, Maybe It's Love, One Horse Town, and Booze the Blues Away. She continued to be active in music and entertainment, including touring and recording with Quartette until 1996, when she was diagnosed with cancer. She was unable to perform with the band during her cancer treatment, so she chose her friend and collaborator Gwen Swick to fill in for her. She passed away following a battle with cancer in Toronto, Ontario, Canada on October 9th, 1996 at the age of 45. Following her death, she was buried in Little Lake Cemetery in her native Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. For her dedication to music and entertainment, she was inducted into the Ottawa Valley Musical Hall of Fame in 1995 and posthumously into the Canadian Country Music Hall of Fame in 2000. In 2003, the Colleen Peterson Songwriting Award, an award for young emerging songwriters, was created in her memory. In 2004, her friend and songwriting partner Nancy Simmonds worked with several musicians to produce a new album, Postcards from California, from unreleased demos she had recorded with her in the early 1990s. In 2000, she was also posthumously honored with a star on Peterborough's Walk of Fame in her native Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Hi guys, here I'm back for another video at the historical Little Lake Cemetery here in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. Beautiful day, looks like a rain, but I thought I'd come do another video. The cemetery is actually a busy place today, so we'll be careful. This is the third video I've done today. So, same as before, I'll just show you a little bit around the cemetery, and I'll give you a little bit of the history of the cemetery, and I will tell you a little bit about the person we're coming to visit. So here's some of the beautiful Little Lake Cemetery out there. A lot of history out there. Now this lake is used for regattas, good swimming. Well, I guess good swimming. I wouldn't swim myself, but good fishing. So we'll go this way. A little bit different this time. Start down here. Beautiful bench that somebody can sit on when they're visiting. In loving memory of Mary L. Emiott, your life was a blessing. So we'll go up this way. I'll show you the columbarium again. The rules and regulations. And again, I'm not going to read that, but if you feel free to pause the video and read that yourself. So, again, here I am at the Little Lake Cemetery in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada. And as I mentioned, we will be visiting the final resting place of the country folk musician Colleen Peterson, born November 14th, 1950 to October 9th, 1996. So let's get started, shall we? So, I will first tell you, the Little Lake Cemetery was founded in 1850 as a private trust company with a public mandate and was the first community non-profit cemetery in Canada West. Now I'll just stop there for a minute and I'll go over here to this awesome mausoleum. Now, I said before, this gentleman was a politician, a doctor, or a lawyer. Now I did some research on him, but there's not much online. So if I find out any more, if he's good enough for a video, I'll do a video for you. And I'll do a more in-depth video of the monument. So I'll show you the neat little doors here. I don't want to get on camera, so I'll just hold it up so you can see. It's pretty neat. So the cemetery does go on forever. That is where we visited Frederick Frise Stenson, better known as Fred Stenson, the Canadian politician and entrepreneur. And then of course over here we visited the puppeteer John Edwin Conway up there for Uncle Chickamus and Hollyhock. Here we visited the War Hero and Military Cross recipient Ackerman, Arthur Ross Ackerman, Lieutenant Arthur Ross Ackerman. Sorry, his name nearly escaped me there. And then we have this monument here, the garden. This memorial garden is maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission and Little Lake Cemetery as a living commemoration to the 43 war dead and hundreds of veterans who are laid to rest in this cemetery, forever remembered. And then another neat little memorial bench over here, dedicated in memory of Marilyn William Reed. Marilyn lived from 1931 to 2020, and William from 1933 to 2004. Now, the original cemetery that was downtown and is now Confederation Park closed in 1854, and all the bodies were moved to Little Lake Cemetery or the Pioneer Park Cemetery, which is just a small one downtown, which I'll show you another day. A little bit more of the columbarium over there. Now that's undergoing renovations, but I'll take you over and I'll show you a little bit after I'm done here. So this is the chapel. Now the chapel we see here was built in 1877 and is undergoing some renovations, so I won't show you too much of that. A neat little in remembrance here for a gentleman who served the Canadian Legion with all the poppies on a wreath, which is very common in Canada for this time of the year on the war graves. So I'll show you a little over here. Actually, I'll wander over here and I'll show you just down the hill how far this goes. Just over here. So as of 2023, the Little Lake Cemetery is 173 years old and is still an active place of burial. So as you can see going on renovations, as you can see. Lots of history in this cemetery. As you can see, stretches down there for a long time. A lot of interesting monuments. But we'll go back around this way. And we have a few minutes before we reach the person that we're going to visit. And I'll tell you more about the country folk musician Colleen Peterson. November 14th, 1950 to October the 9th, 1996. In just a minute. Here's a neat little upright burial stone. Probably really hard to read, so I'm not even going to try. Oh, these are morals. Some more morals. That's pretty neat. Actually, I'll read it. It says, Archibald Morrow, 1777 to 1867, son, Outre Morrow, 1808 to 1848, grandson Robert A. Morrow, 1843 to 1920, his wife Josephine Gilchrist, 1844 to 1926, great-grandsons Harold A. Morrow, 1866 to 1952, his wife Constance Fitzgerald, 1879 to 1913, his wife Dora M. Park, 1878 to 1941, and Archibald Morrow, 1878 to 1924. Neat stone there. So we'll go down this way. Colleen is down by the water. I'll just adjust my gimbal there. She's just down by the water a bit, so we'll just take you on a little tour. Look, there's a pumpkin left over from Halloween. Beautiful architecture. Another neat little monument right here. This is the Otonabee Lodge, number 13, founded in 1846. Golden Link Rebecca Lodge, number 81, founded in 1906. Peterborough Lodge, number 3, founded in 1873. And that's the Independent Order of Oddfellows. more over there. There's a jumping on his bike over there, so I don't want to film him, so I have to be careful. So as you can see, lots of monuments over here. So I'll get out of this. This is like a roundabout, so get out of here. I'll make my way back down to where I was. Now they've been cutting down a lot of trees in here too. I guess they're making room for some more burials. We'll just be careful we don't trip over any branches or anything as we cut through the grass and stuff. Actually, we'll cut through here. We still got a ways to go. We can go cut through down, cut through up here. Another neat one there. Here's another neat little one. Now these are the Book of Life monuments. I don't know if you guys have them where you are. It's shaped like a book, and it has the people's names on it. I won't get too close because it says, "Who we are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds with the Lord." Christopher John Marshall, June 4th, 1979 to January 25th, 2021. So we'll go down here. Be careful I don't slip and fall. The grass is a little wet. Beautiful evening. It's just after 6 o'clock here. It's going to be dark soon. We roll our clocks back this weekend, so daylight savings time. I believe the cemetery gates are open 24 hours, so they don't actually ever close them as far as I know. So there's Isabella Stewart Valancy Crawford again. We just visited her. As I said, there's a few more in here, but I will have to find them. There's a few flat stones, but they're all covered by leaves, so I'll bring you them another day, depending on our weather. Now, this is another new section over here. So I think they will be doing more burials over here, I gather. I'll just show you this little bench here. It just says Winhashagen. So I don't know if there's anybody even buried there yet. So there's a neat engineer buried in here too. He was the grandson of Richard Birdsall, who I did earlier, the first video I did for YouTube, or the first grave visit I did for YouTube. And his grandson, mapped out the construction of the Peterborough lift locks, which I mentioned earlier, which is the second hydraulic boat lift launch in Canada, I believe it is, or in the world. It's over 100 years old, and there's some woods just above it, and a witch supposedly haunts the woods up there. Spooky stuff. So there's some more of the water, more of that. Now she's just up here a little bit way, so I will show you, and I will tell you more about Colleen. as I said, I will show you, I'm showing you a little bit more today, but I will do a more in-depth video of this cemetery another day. It'll probably be in a few parts, and I'll show you some more interesting stones and that kind of stuff. I'll make this one a little longer today and take you around once I remember where Colleen is. A few veterans buried in here too, flat stones. Now she should just be up in this next section. As you can see, some more water. Lots of geese over there. We got ducks. A lot of geese in this cemetery too that come in here. Scott on Tape's favorite bird, everybody knows. Not. He hates them with a passion. But I think he really loves them. He's that type of guy. He loves all those birds. He's a good guy. He wouldn't hurt anything. So there's some more of the water. Beautiful fall colors. There's a squirrel running. Pedestrian sign. So she should just be right over here. I may have to take the leaves off the grave as it's a flat one. So let's see if we can find her. Yes. Just bear with me a minute, guys. I'll just remove the leaves so I can read it. So now, back to my notes here, I'll tell you a little more about her. So, back to Colleen Peterson. She was a Canadian country folk musician, singer, songwriter, guitarist, and a member of the all-girl group Quartette, along with Cindy Church, Caitlin Hanford, Gwen Swick, and Sylvia Tyson, who was married to the late Ian Tyson. Just give me a second here. So he was also a country singer. He passed away just last year, I believe it was. Now, the group won a CCMA award, or Country Canadian Music Award, for a vocal collaboration in 1994, and a Juno Award for the album No Pain, No Gain in 1996. Originally a solo artist, she also performed with Bruce Cockburn, Mark Haynes, and the late Gordon Lightfoot, among many others. She continued to perform and entertain until her death from cancer on October the 9th, 1996, at the young age of 45. She was born in Peterborough, Ontario, Canada, and passed away in Toronto, Ontario, Canada. So, here is the final resting place of Colleen Peterson. She, of course, is no relation to me. Now, this gentleman up here, I believe, was her uncle. It says, in loving memory of Gordon E. Thomson, March 31st, 1919 to December 25th, 1991. Forever and forever. And down here we have Peterson in big capital letters, in memory of Colleen, with a music note, 1950 to 1996. Beloved daughter of Lyle, 1922 to 1980. And Kathleen Thomson, 1922 to 2006. Always in our hearts. Colleen Peterson. She was actually born Colleen Susan Peterson. So Colleen Susan Peterson, thank you for all your years of Canadian music that you brought to Canada, and your outstanding performances, and for all your wonderful awards that you won. Congratulations. Sorry that you were taken away from us so soon by that evil cancer, but I know you're probably up there in heaven singing with the angels. And I just want to thank you, everybody, for coming along with me on this adventure. So this concludes today's video. So if you like this type of content, please like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up button. Take care, stay safe, and we will see you on the next video adventure. Thank you. I'm going to just I'll take you up a little bit longer and I'll show you a little bit more. And look at here, right next to Peterson, Scott. Scott on tape, or Scott on video. So let's just walk up here a little bit, just around the bend, show you a little bit more, as it is a beautiful cemetery. We'll go this way as I make my way back up to the gates where my vehicle is. Just show you a little bit more. Oh look, another Scott. Scott. Take you up this way. A little bit more over there. Beautiful cemetery. Actually, we'll walk up this to the chapel up here. I didn't show you the front of the chapel. As we walk up this big hill. And once I make it up this hill, I'll end the video. Oh, we have some geese up here, a couple of geese, as you can see. Again, Scott on tape's favorite bird. Oh, look, there's an interesting bird bath monument. Glover. That's pretty neat. A couple of geese. They're gonna run now as I make my way up the hill. Gotta watch vehicles just come whipping around these corners, and they really should be slow in the cemetery. Look at all of them over there. Neat little monument there, housing with a big cross on it. Smile, you're on YouTube. So there's the chapel. I said was built in 1877. It's under construction. So guys, thank you again for coming on this little journey with me, this video adventure. Again, please like, subscribe, and hit that thumbs up button. And I'll bring you some more videos another day. Thank you so much. Take care, stay safe, and goodbye for now.